Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. More depressing news. An NBA player shot dead early this morning, May 28th, 2016. The story has just emerged within the past half hour. The player is Bryce Dejean-Jones of the New Orleans Pelicans, played his college ball at Iowa State. Just 2 days ago, I made a video talking about the deaths connected to the Oklahoma City Thunder this past year, showing how these people died by numbers that corresponded with the basketball team with this current season. Everything I talked about in that video is reflected in the death of this young man today. I'm going to show you how this is another ritual sacrifice, something that is always ongoing if you're aware of in the world of professional sports. The one piece I am not sure of in this research is if these people are truly being killed or if they are faking their deaths. But a lot of these men are so young and they have their entire futures ahead of them and they're in a great position. It's hard to comprehend why they would ever fake their deaths. So it leads me to think that these young men really are being murdered for the purpose of ritual sacrifice. No matter what the outcome is, this is a very sick practice. It needs to be exposed. You know, my work at this point, if you're new here, it is pretty much a proven science. In February, I said Prince better watch his ass. I talked about a number that was very scary for him. He died exactly 67 days after the death of Vanity. The number I talked about, a number having to do with ritual sacrifice. Anyhow, I just want you to know, if you're new here, this work is not bogus. I'm not just doing this for attention. I'm doing this because it's absolutely disgusting. If you've never noticed before, my channel doesn't have commercials. That's because I don't want to make any money off this research. I just want people to have the truth, and I want them to have the truth without having to sit through a commercial first, you know? If that pays me a penny per, it's not worth it. So anyhow, LeBron James also clinched his sixth East NBA Finals championship appearance last night by defeating the Raptors. We're going to talk about what that has to do with this death. Also, what it has to do with Bill Russell. There's a major Bill Russell parallel here. But let's begin with why this man was targeted for ritual sacrifice. Currently 23 years old, wears the number 31. Think about how LeBron wears the number 23 and is 31 years old. In gematria, basketball equals 31 the small way, 85 the big way. This young man just died 85 days before his birthday, which we'll also get to. Villanova just won the college championship the first time since 85, 31 years ago, winning by the numbers. So, this might sound bizarre if you're new here, but oftentimes when the mainstream media has a tweet and the numbers below, they are part of the sick, bizarre code. In this case, the name LeBron James equals 114, a lot like the tweet time of 114. And I know that's not arbitrary. Last year in February, I predicted what the NBA Finals would be by recognizing the significance of that number and what happened in the Golden State Warriors and Cavs game on February 26th. Based on the events, stats, score of that game, I was certain that would be the upcoming NBA Finals. It was very clear last year. Right now, we're also in the time of the 114th Congress. Once upon a time, the leader of Congress was also from Ohio, John Boehner. John Boehner equals 114, just like LeBron James. If you're new to my channel, I talk about why Ohio is of significance. There's a lot of other information to these details, but let's just stick for now to the death of this young man. At the end, they point out that he played in 33 games at Iowa State. Hawkeyes equals 33. Today's date has 33 numerology. Game 6, the game to be later played today, has gematria of 33. Very special number in basketball. A number also very much connected to ritual sacrifice. The people who write these articles, they are part of the sick masonic gang that does this. It's like the mafia governing over us. You know, they run the government, they run the media, they run the sports leagues. They code this way. That is who I am exposing. So he played for the New Orleans Pelicans, which in gematria equals 79. So does the word murder. So does the word champion. And there's often ritual sacrifice around the time of championships. Something I'm continually exposing. Season after season, sport after sport. You know, a shining example was after this past World Series. Dave Henderson died 57 days after the World Series ended. At age 57, World Series in gematria equals 57. Henderson equals 57. 57, a number connected to championship, connected to Super Bowl. He had played in his career for the teams that met in the World Series. So he was a perfect candidate to ritually sacrifice. He ended his career with the Royals, who won the World Series. He played against the Mets while a member of the Red Sox in '86 in the World Series. For this Super Bowl, I must have at least 20 videos of celebrities connected to the Super Bowl, including Prince. Prince just died at age 57. So anyway, the team has a connection to murder. But here is a major component in why he was chosen. Bryce Alexander Dejean-Jones equals 239. And I just got done talking about the significance of this number in the last video on the deaths of the Oklahoma City Thunder. The country is currently 239 years old. This is a very special number to the Jewish faith. Their holy book Torah has gematria of 239. In their belief system, they say their Messiah will arrive through the Golden Gate. Golden Gate equals 239. Last year, there was a declassified military story about how the U.S. government conducted 239 chemical weapons tests on populations in the United States over several decades. And the first of those 239 experiments was released off a Navy vessel by the Golden Gate Bridge. From the beginning, this country has been governed by the numbers. The world of sports by the numbers, murder by the numbers, it's just a small part of what's going on. The book I'm working on that will be out soon, I cover it all. I'm putting it all in the book. I'm getting it all to fit in there, to flow, so people can understand it once and for all, see what it's all about, who's responsible, why they're doing this. In the history of the nation, the leader of the Baha'i faith, Abdul Baha, a name that equals 239 in Jewish gematria, came to the United States for exactly 239 days, talking about the importance of peace. That was just before World War I. Last year, Pope Francis came on September 23rd, which can be written 23/9, and did something very similar. This year, the country 239 years old. This young man dead, named gematria of 239. So they say he was killed in Dallas. Dallas has gematria of 49. Today's date numerology sums to 49. The Warriors play in Game 6, trying to become the 10th team to come back from 3-1, down 3-1 in a series. Warriors equals 49. The Warriors come from Philadelphia. Philadelphia is named from Revelation. Revelation 49, Warriors 49, Dallas 49. Today's Game 6. Game 6 has gematria of 33. Today's date, 5/28, also numerology of 33. Golden State, the abbreviated way, sums to 33. His birthday would have been August 21st. He would have turned 24 years old. The day he was born was a date with numerology of 121. That's a number also connecting to Revelation. Revelation, the big way, equals 121. Dead on a date with 49 numerology. The numbers connecting to Revelation and Warriors. Warriors, the big way, equals 121. I messed up there. Or let's see, 49, 49. Is it all there? Oh, no, it's all there. My fault. Eye trick. So anyway, this guy dying by significant numbers. From today until what would have been his birthday, 85 days. Basketball equals 85. Right now, notice the span of 2 months and 24 days. This year, in the Gregorian calendar, is the year 2016. There's other calendars in the world that people use. There's something called the French Republican calendar, and it is currently in its 224th year. It's from the end of the French Revolution, which happened right after the end of the American Revolution. The French Republican calendar began on September 23rd. It's the 224th year. Think about how he died in New Orleans, part of the Louisiana Purchase, the deal between France and the United States with Thomas Jefferson, who was over in France during the time of the American Revolution, just before the French Revolution. All this stuff is all coded out through history. There's a lot to it. Again, it's all in the book that I'm putting out. But this is what's going on, and these are still the riddles going on today, even with the deaths of young men. And you want to know what the sick parallel is? Think about the time of Thomas Jefferson and slavery and what was done by rich slave owners to young black men. You know, ritual murder back then. It's the same shit going on today, just with a different face put on it. This stuff is truly sick. Recognize those of you who give your money to the NBA, who buy their merchandise, who pay to go to their games. You are supporting this. You know? Recognize that. All this money goes to these tyrants who do this. And it's all rigged. You're going to see a play. If you want to watch the game just for entertainment, okay, maybe you want to do that. But just recognize you're not watching something organic. You're watching a rigged, predetermined outcome year after year, planned decades in advance. Like, check this out. Last night, the Cavs won with 113 points. If you're new to my channel, I talk about two numbers more than any other in regards to the NBA. Those numbers are 33 and 113. Last night, LeBron scored 33 points. The Cavs winning with 113. The word mainstream equals 113, 113. The word dishonest equals 113, 113. The name Michael Jordan, 113. The name Kobe Bryant, 113. The name Utah Jazz, 113. I bring that up because Jordan and Kobe both retired against the Jazz. Jordan came back later and finished his career against Philadelphia, where Kobe played his high school ball wearing the number 33. Michael equals 33, Kobe equals 33. In Bava Kama 113a, Jewish holy text, it says a Jew can lie to someone who is not Jewish. The word is Gentile, a non-Jew. It is okay for a Jew to lie to a Gentile to circumvent them, to go around them. 113 is the rule. Dishonest equals 113, mainstream. This number they code again and again in their sports, history, propaganda. Notice the margin of 26 points, the NBA Finals start 2/6, June 2nd. That's the God number in Gematria. In the Hebrew alphabet, God equals 26. In the English alphabet, God equals 26. Jordan equals 26. The last team to do this was the Boston Celtics. Celtics equals 26. LeBron James equals 42. They win the series 4-2. Get this. LeBron, first player to go to 6 championships since 66. 66. We'll talk about the significance of 666 in just a moment. But LeBron himself in Gematria equals 66. We were talking about Revelation, the coding into Philadelphia, the Warriors. Revelation's the 66th book of most Bibles. It's been 50 years since 66. Interestingly enough, 50 when written out, has gematria of 66. LeBron, the first player to accomplish this since Bill Russell of the Celtics. Bill Russell in gematria sums to 42 and 60, just like the most hateful word for black Americans. LeBron James also equals 42. LeBron James is born on December 30th, 12 plus 30, 42, the only month and day pairing that has that numerology in the calendar year. That's also the birthday for Tiger Woods. Tiger equals 59, like Negro, like slave, like blues. He had his worst career golfing performance on May 9th. These numbers get stamped on black Americans again and again, 42 and 59, and it's not a coincidence that LeBron and Tiger have a December 30th birthday. There's a whole lot more to the story. Bill Cosby was shamed in court on that date last year. It's all part of a very racist, by-the-numbers, sick joke. So yesterday when LeBron went to his 6th straight finals, it was a date with 48 numerology. The name James equals 48. Bill Russell's birthday in history, February 12th, 34, a date with 48 numerology. Could be a coincidence, but I thought that's pretty interesting. Both having connections to the number, tying their records on these dates in history. The number 223, a very special number to the Masons and the Zionist Jews, which we'll talk more about, is the 48th prime number. All year they've been doing this ad for the Cavs. Kyrie Irving, number 2. LeBron, 23. Love, 0. No love. Like in tennis, love is 0. Part of the ongoing sick joke, the powers that be. They have no love for anyone. Gang of asshole tyrants. But notice, 223. Not a coincidence. Flip Saunders, born in Cleveland, died at the beginning of the season. His birthday was February 23rd, 223. The first game of the season for the Timberwolves, who he coached, was against the Lakers. The Lakers originally from Minnesota. That game ended up with 223 points, something I said to look out for. Scripted to the point, something I've been aware of, a point I'm trying to pound home. People keep calling my work coincidence, death after death, score after score. You know, I don't know what more I can do besides one more video with one more piece of evidence. So in light of the 42 connection to Bill Russell and LeBron James, I noticed something. Bill Russell won all those championships. After his career was over with the Boston Celtics, he became the coach of the Boston Celtics, then the coach of the Seattle Supersonics. The Seattle Supersonics have since become the Oklahoma City Thunder, who the Golden State Warriors are playing today in Game 6. Connection between the Sonics and the Thunder. The 73-74 season that Russell joined the Sonics, that was 42 years ago. 42 years ago. And Seattle, a city that sits on the 47th parallel. Its famous landmark, the Space Needle, does a full rotation every 47 minutes. The first NBA championship was won in the year 47 by the Philadelphia Warriors, who've since become the Golden State Warriors. The Boston Celtics, mostly thanks to Bill Russell, that team leads the NBA with 17 championships. NBA equals 17. In MLB, the Yankees lead with 27 World Series wins. MLB equals 27. 27 outs in a game. So ESPN put out this article about Bill Russell today talking about his college ball days in San Francisco. Again, the Warriors went from Philadelphia to San Francisco to Golden State, crossing the bay to Oakland. They're making parallels here with Bill Russell to the Oklahoma City Thunder through the Sonics and also to the Warriors, the Western Conference Finals matchup. And the prophecy also ties to LeBron James, who also has this parallel with Bill Russell. In the opening paragraph, this tribute to Bill Russell, his college ball days in San Francisco, two numbers stand out. The year 1962, remember the NBA Finals start June 2nd, a date that can be written 6/2, and it brings up the Warriors, how they won their titles 39 years apart. Revelation. connected to the Warriors. Based on the 39 books of the Old Testament, the Warriors got several 39 tributes this year. Their biggest one was against the Spurs. The Spurs were in their 39th year of being in the NBA. Tim Duncan was 39 years old. They were 39-0 at home, trying to go for a perfect record. First team to do so in a regular season. They got beat in their 40th game by the Warriors. And Curry got his 39th 30-point game of the season. If you go back through the stats, there's been a lot of 39 tributes for the Warriors. Again, revelation based on the 39 books of the Old Testament that the Jews go by. Remember earlier this year, the Warriors' record win streak of 54 games was snapped by the Boston Celtics that Bill Russell played for. The Celtics also once had the record longest winning streak at home, once almost went undefeated at home as well. I think their record was snapped at 39-0 as well. The Warriors' win streak ended at 54 games. Oracle in Gematria, where they play, equals 54. Oracle has to do with future telling. The same night that their record win streak was snapped by the Celtics, the Cavs were busy beating the Atlanta Hawks, who in history were the St. Louis Hawks. Here we have a list of NBA championships. Look at what the Boston Celtics did from 1957 to 1966. Remember, LeBron just became the first player since 66 to go to 6 straight NBA Finals, tying Bill Russell. The only time the Celtics didn't win was in that year 58, which was 58 years ago this year, 2016. Freemasonry equals 58. For those of you planning for the Super Bowl, go back and take a look at 1958 and also take a look at what I've decoded on my blog. And if you saw that shooting at the T.I. concert, look at all the mainstream headlines and all the pictures taken, and you'll notice there's only 2 football uniforms or teams shown in all the footage. And they happen to be the 2 teams that played each other in 1958. That's another post. But anyway, the same night that the Warriors lost to the Celtics, the Cavs were getting their 54th win against the Hawks. They were back-to-back games on ESPN, possibly, allergies, possibly also TNT. Either way, ESPN or TNT, they both have Gematria of 54. Another one of these special numbers in the study. But I thought there was some future telling that night. I did a video on that. Now seeing how it all comes together through Bill Russell, the Boston Celtic, makes a bit more sense. The Cavs played the Celtics earlier this year. On March 5th, Celtics equals 26 and 35. Celtics had 35 points in the first quarter, got off to a big lead, but then got blown out. Notice the sum of the game, 223 points. Like that number sequence we talked about, 120 plus 103. So this Bill Russell article comes out the day that these 2 teams play that have parallels to him. The name Russell in Gematria equals 106 like prophecy. This number coded all over the Warriors and Thunder season. The team that Bill Russell played for, the Dons. Dons is a name with 52 Gematria. Prophecy the small way is 52 as well. They make the point about how it was 60 years ago. We talked about how Bill Russell equals 60. Think about how Kobe closed the season out with 60 points. Did a video on how that was connected to the death of Moses Malone, who died at age 60 just before the season began. Another one of these ritual sacrifices. Lots of interesting numbers here. Completely coded article. They bring up how Bill Russell has a relationship with Jerry West. Jerry West is the logo of the NBA. That basketball player dribbling, that's Jerry West. Played for the Lakers. Remember, the Warriors season began by chasing the 44-year-old record set by the Lakers and Jerry West of 33 wins. The Warriors fell short at 28. Both streaks in history, 44 years apart, were ended by the Milwaukee Bucks. If you write out 28 as a word, if you write out 33 as a word, if you write out Milwaukee Bucks, they all sum to 156 in gematria. The number 911 is the 156th prime. Special numbers. That record, though, was from the year that the Golden State Warriors began in Golden State. After moving from San Francisco 44 years earlier, Jerry West wore the number 44 for the Lakers. Jerry West in gematria equals 44. Notice that Jerry equals 31, West 13, numbers that are reflections of each other. Picture of Bill Russell and Curry after the NBA Finals last year. The article brings up how Bill Russell, he stays away from the celebrations in regards to basketball. And perhaps the reason he does this is because he knows it's rigged and he's ashamed. Last night, after the Cavs advanced to the NBA Finals, the Big Three, Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, Kevin Love, they all had big grins on their face. They all looked like they were at a funeral. They looked sad. These are millionaires that get to play basketball for a living that just advanced to the championship. And they all looked grief-stricken. This is how you can tell that something is going on behind the scenes, something the fans don't know about. And I feel as the years pass on, the body language becomes more and more clear. That could just be because I'm growing older, becoming, older, more aware, more knowledgeable. Even when I was a kid, though, I saw things were off. I remember Michael Jordan once looking very disappointed while holding the trophy as well when I was a child. Thinking, what's wrong with Michael Jordan? But these games are all truly scripted. When the Cavs defeated the Celtics with the sum of 223 points, they got their 44th win. They did it 44 days before the start of the NBA playoffs. Celtics 35 on March 5th, 3-5. Celtics 35 points in the first quarter. So the Warriors are trying to become one of 10 teams to come back from 3-1 in a series. Only 9 teams have done it. In history, what's interesting, the first team to ever do it was Boston over Philadelphia. Again, Philadelphia, the original home of the Warriors. Talking about the parallels between Bill Russell's Celtics and the Warriors as well as the Thunder. They also did it 35 years ago. Boston came back against Philadelphia. The last team to do it was last year. The Rockets did it to the Clippers. Remember, LeBron's 31 years old. Basketball equals 31. Curry, the star player of the Warriors, equals 31. And today the narrative has been, who's better, Curry or Westbrook? I expect that'll be the storyline in whatever happens in the game today. These were the scores from when the Celtics defeated the Warriors at home. Notice the Warriors went down with 106 points, the number of prophecy, the number connected to the train wrecks that were connected to last year's NBA Finals, as well as this year's college championship, Villanova, the Philly school. Warriors originally from Philly, Philly named from Revelation in the Bible, the book of prophecy. Cavs advanced last night to the NBA Finals with 113 points and 33 again. Just so redundant. After the Cavs advanced last night, ESPN, their analysts were saying that the Cavs want a rematch against the Warriors because they're healthy this year. They're rooting for the Warriors to come back. This timestamp right here is 108 seconds. Golden State Warriors equals 108. This story last night, 216, Cleveland, home of the 216 area code. The NBA Finals in gematria equals 666. 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. 2016, 0 doesn't count in numerology. The year's a lot like 216. What did LeBron say to make Drake laugh? Here's a story about LeBron giving Drake a hug at the end of the game. Drake and Gematria 39. The Zionist Jews, the Masons, they own hip-hop, they own pro sports. Draymond Green article reminiscing about the people drafted ahead of him. 106 seconds, that number of prophecy. Let's look up Draymond Green's draft position real quick. He was a member of the 2012 draft. He was taken 35th overall by the Warriors. And what stands out to me about that is the number 35. The word Catholic equals 35. If you look, many of these basketball players went to Catholic schools, including LeBron James himself. They are Jesuit schools. As I covered earlier this year, Villanova got their 35th win, winning the championship on the season. They are a college school. They won in a specific set of days that corresponded with the Pope departing through Philadelphia. The Pope came to visit the United States, Catholic, first Jesuit Pope, departed through Philadelphia. Philadelphia had all these basketball-related deaths around the time of the Pope's visit. Think about what an awful season the 76ers had. They'd won the NBA Finals 33 years earlier. The Warriors, meanwhile, the team originally from Philly, doing well. You know, we had the death of Dion Waiters' brother in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. Something going on with the Catholics and basketball and all of this. The Philadelphia train wreck was connected to the Pope in the NBA Finals last year. This year's train wrecks were connected to the Pope and the college championship. Draymond Green, the 35th pick. So we talked about the 1-1-3. The big three for the Cavs last night combined for 33, 30, and 20, a total of 83 points. 83, the 23rd prime. LeBron, number 23, the young man who died today with the 239 name gematria, 23 years old. Later today, when the game is played, no matter what the outcome, remember that who won was not who played better, but who the game was scripted for. Earlier this year, we saw the big upset. The Lakers defeated the Warriors in the Staples Center. Staples Center gematria 49, just like Warriors. Very important numbers to the Masons and Zionists who rule over. Lakers in gematria equals 66. They won the game March 6th this year, a leap year, the 66th day of the year. Lakers 66, big win, 66th day. Remember the connection between Kobe Bryant and the Golden State Warriors, who closed out their seasons together. Kobe finished with 60 points against Utah. Moses Malone died at the beginning of the season at age 60. The first high school player drafted to the pros by Utah. Ended up playing the majority of his career in Philly. Kobe from Philly finishes his career against Utah, scores 60 points. More to the story than that. I have a long video on it. But it's all tributes, it's all scripting, it's all ritual murder. It's sick. You know, these athletes, I'm not sure how much they're aware of, but they are, they're participating in something that is very sociopathic. It needs to be exposed. It needs to be ended. Can't help but notice in this picture of all Lakers, Draymond Green's in the background. This quiet symbol. Quiet symbol, Draymond Green. Yeah, if you're new here, go back. Go through my videos, see all the work I've put out. There's a whole lot more than I've shared in this video, but this is what's going on, All right, Truth Seeker, RIP to the young man. Please help spread this information, Someday, hopefully everyone will see this is all beyond coincidence. Till next time.